Whenever I think of the words of the Savior, when he invites us to become as a little child, I think of my adorable little sister and this video that she took of her equally adorable 2-year-old little toddler, Rosie.
I'm going to show you something. See right there. Mommy needs to go up and switch the laundry, okay? I'm going to give these to you. You need to sit down, and you can eat them when I come back, okay? You have to wait to eat them. Mommy will give you some right now, and I need you to wait to eat them, okay? There's a blue and a red and an orange and a green. Don't eat them right now. You need to wait till I switch the laundry, okay? I'm going to go switch the laundry really fast, and I'll be back. And when I come back, you can eat them, okay? All right.
Switch the laundry to eat them. And bread and it's really out. It's go good.
Okay.
Get your mouth.
Oh, what a good girl. Now you can eat them. Good job.
If you're anything like me, you probably thought Rosie was going to eat one of those gummies. But she is actually a perfect example of what it means to be childlike when you have a parent who you trust and who you know loves you. When her mom left the room, Rosie was looking at those gummies with gleeful anticipation. She was thinking about them and talking about them, and she was looking for her mom to return. And as soon as her mom did come back, the first words that came out of her mouth were, "Thank you, Mommy!" Such childlike gratitude. It's such a great example, I think, of part of what the Savior means when he asks us to become as a little child. And I know that we don't have the minds of a little 2-year-old. They don't understand the past, and they don't understand the consequences that might happen in the future. In fact, from the time a baby's born until the age of 2, they only have what are called delta brainwaves. Those would be the kind of brainwaves you have when you're in a deep sleep. And according to biologist Dr. Bruce Lipton, from about the age of 2 to 7, kids only really go up to theta brainwaves, which are the kinds of brainwaves we have when we're in a REM cycle or in a state of hypnosis. And just as a side note, isn't it interesting that in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, we don't allow children to be baptized until the age of 8, until they've had a complete year of being fully conscious and aware of the consequences of their choices before they can choose to be baptized for remission of their sins. As adults, we have an understanding of these things. In fact, sometimes it can be a little bit of a curse. That's a meme that my son shared with the kids at his OCD and anxiety program that he attended to help him overcome his OCD. And while OCD is not funny, sometimes it helps to take, a step back and kind of laugh at how anxiety and fear works. And that is how it works. Little children are so happy. And I believe a lot of that's because they're just living in the moment, because they don't understand the past and the future in the ways that we do. And while we have that understanding for a purpose, and it serves a good purpose, oftentimes when we come to the Lord and we ask him, why is this going on? And give me an answer to this, and help me to understand this and that. The answer that he most frequently gives me I know is be still and know that I am God. And that's not his way of brushing you off and saying, I don't want to tell you right now. I really think that being still, being in the moment is the answer. That is how the answers come to us. That is how we are open to experiencing maybe all of the things that he sees fit to bring into our lives to teach us what we need to learn. I get that it's not easy. I went through a period of time specifically where my brain and body were on fire, where I had so much mind chatter going on that it was actually torture to lie down. Even though I was exhausted, being still like that was so difficult that I would either have to put in earphones and listen to something to drown that out, or I just have to get up and distract myself with doing other things. And yet, even in that state that I was in, I would practice mindfulness. I would lie down and do a body scan meditation or listen to other meditations. And while I did receive some benefit, obviously they didn't completely work because my mind and body were not ready yet. But as I progressed in my healing, those tools, which weren't very helpful at the time, became more and more powerful, to where now they are very useful and they make a lot of sense in my life now. It might not make total sense to you to just trust and live in the now when there are so many things that you have a responsibility for. But in my experience, the more that you learn about God, the more you develop that trust and that relationship with him, the more he will help you to understand that it really does work and how that can work. So I just leave you with this message to strive to be a little more like Rosie. Look with gleeful anticipation for the blessings that God has promised you. Look forward to his coming and just be a little bit more grateful for the here and now.